deep breaths, I want you to just release physical stress and tension that you might be feeling. So you're just taking. Okay, and then I want you to take 3 more breaths, at least, and release mental and emotional stress. We talked about the 7 energy centers, 3 above and 3 beneath last week, and 1 in your heart. So what I want you to do is imagine Christ above you, just above you. You can see Jesus, or you can just see a bright light that represents Christ, who is the light of the world. Very bright, and even if you are seeing the figure of Jesus, I want you to see pouring forth from him a very bright white light just above your head. And then I want you to, with your intention, open, if you will, with your intention and your imagination, open up the top of your head and begin to draw light with every inhale. And bring that light and let it rest right in your heart. So as you inhale, you're drawing down that brilliant white light of Christ, drawing it into your heart and letting it rest there. With every inhale. And as that light is coming in, it's passing through the middle of your forehead, which represents your intuition, spiritual gifts, spiritual sight. Through your throat, which represents truth. So you're bringing the love and the light and the life of Christ into your mind, activating your intuition and your spiritual gifts, bringing his light into your truth, into your voice, your ability to speak and communicate who you are, what you believe, what you think, and finally down into your heart and letting it rest there with every inhale. Good. Now I want you to become mindful of the lower part of your back, the base of your spine, which represents your need for survival, security. Next one, just a little bit below, just an inch or 2 below the belly button, representing our pursuits and need for pleasure. The solar plexus representing our need for power and influence. And those are also energy centers, so they have a light of their own, if you will. So what I want you to begin to imagine now is that on every exhale, you're pushing that energy up, all the way up into your heart. So you're inhaling, and as you're exhaling, pushing, as you push the air out, you're pushing that energy up the base of your spine into your heart to meet that light from Christ that you've drawn down into yourself. So you inhale, and then you exhale, and as you exhale, you're pushing that energy through those centers. Need for survival, need for pleasure, need for power. And it's residing comfortably inside the center of your heart. Now I want you to coordinate your breath so that on the inhale, you're drawing that light from Christ in above and bringing it into your heart. And as you exhale, you're pushing the energy up your spine. And it's resting in your heart. Inhaling the light of Christ. Exhaling and bringing that energy up. So that on every inhale, you're bringing energy down into your heart. And on every exhale, you're pushing energy up into your heart. So that your entire being is becoming impacted by the light of Christ. And your entire being is coming into harmony and balance and synchronization. Everything abiding in your heart. Just a few more breaths. Breathing in that bright white light down the top of your head, through the center of your forehead, down past your voice, resting in your heart, radiant white light. And then as you exhale, pushing energy up from the base of your spine, past your belly button, past your solar plexus, into your heart. Good. For most of us, our sense of our mind and our consciousness resides in our head because that's where all our senses come in. It's where we see, it's where we hear, smell, taste. I want you to just, by your intention and by your imagination, I want you to imagine that center of consciousness as a point of light inside your brain. This is your light, this is your consciousness. Imagining it as a center or a point of light inside the center of your brain. And allowing it to move now. Allowing it to move down, down, down. So that your mind, your consciousness, your awareness becomes centered in your heart. So all the higher energies of who you are in Christ, all the lower energies of who you are as an human being, and your awareness, all centering inside your heart. Whatever you experience is okay. If you start to have feelings, don't judge them. They may be pleasant or unpleasant, it doesn't matter. Just allow them to be there. From this place, you begin to host the manifest presence of God, that in the Hebrew is known as the Shekinah, the manifest glory of God. Shekinah in Hebrew is actually the feminine, the divine feminine aspects of God. And from that place in your heart, you can surrender fully and completely to the love of Christ, to the wisdom of God, to the will of God, giving yourself totally and completely, giving up your struggles, giving up your ideas, knowing that you are perfectly fine the way you are. You're totally accepted and loved. There is nothing about you that needs to change. And when you get in that place, you can make affirmations to yourself. It's very powerful. You can communicate with yourself things that you want to change. I'm going to say, since it's St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to say as an affirmation the prayer of St. Patrick. And as I say the words out loud, I want you to repeat them to yourself silently and internally, planting them like a seed inside your heart. Christ be with me. Christ within me. Christ behind me. Christ before me. Christ beside me. Christ to win me. Christ to comfort and restore me. Christ beneath me. Christ above me. Christ in quiet. Christ in danger. Christ in the hearts of all that love me. Christ in mouth of friend and stranger. Just let the power of those words settle down inside your heart. And I want you to become aware of your breathing again. Not drawing energy or moving energy anymore, but just your physical breathing. Just notice the breath coming in through your nose or mouth, however you're breathing. Notice the temperature of it. Notice the feel of it. Notice the pace of your breathing. Feel yourself sitting in the chair. Take your hands that are on your thighs and begin to rub your thighs, just keeping your eyes closed, but rubbing your thighs. Take your feet and kind of rub them on the floor with your eyes closed. And then gently, very slowly, start to open your eyes. You can open them once, close them again, open them up again, but you're bringing yourself very gently back into the room, back into this physical space. Stretch, yawn, move around a little bit, getting yourself centered back. Physical awareness, outer awareness, if you will. And when you're ready, if you'd stand up with me, we'll pray, and then we'll get into the message today. How is that?